This video brings together 4 thrilling narratives of battles fought by the legendary team composed of Shisui, Kurenai, Sasuke, and the Wind Dancer. United by force, strategy, and forged ties on the battlefield, these 4 ninjas star in intense combat full of technique, emotion, and drama. Each story brings a new threat, a new scenario, and a new way of showing the power of the Union. Here are the titles of the stories you will find on the following pages. Broken Heavens, The Tsukumo and the Dawn. Symphony of Illusions, When the Wind Speaks. Between Flames and Lightning, The Last Shadow of Konoha. The Cry of the Forgotten, Echoes of a Deadly Dance. Now, plunge into these chronicles and find out how legends are forged with blood, courage, and the unqualified shine of the ninja spirit. 1. Broken Heavens, The Tsukumo and the Dawn. The first rays of the sun still kissed the horizon when the mist rose over the Voucher of Devastation. There, where the earth had been departed by ancient gods, 4 ninjas prepared to face the unknown. Shisui, with his eyes calm and dangerous, adjusted the helmet of his Susanoo. Kurenai silently sealed Genjutsu rolls. Sasuke sharpened his own look while lightning danced on his fingers. And the Wind Dancer, lightweight like a breath, floated between the stones, capturing every treacherous breeze. The enemy? A group of mercenaries possessed by old chakras, distorted by forbidden experiments. But the real danger was in his leader, a woman who could invoke living memories and turning pain into blades. When the battle began, it was Kurenai who sealed the first destination. A deep genjutsu involved 2 enemies, forcing them to attack their own allies under the effect of the Radiant Flower. Shisui took advantage of chaos and activated its esoteric with maximum concentration, Susanoo Tsukumo, throwing a wave of destruction against opponents and interrupting their strategies before they could react. Sasuke, fast as thunder, toured the enemy line with continuous cut of Chidori, immobilizing the rival general. Beside her, the dancer rapped elegant and sharp blows with her whirlpool technique, blinding the enemies and making room for the persecution of Shisui and Sasuke. The battle dance was intense. Kurenai, when injured, involuntarily activated her passive, Genjutsu spreading confusion among enemies and further unbalanced the battlefield. Meanwhile, Shisui has already accumulated strength with his passive, Shinobi Prodigy, reaching devastating levels of ninjutsu. The dancer channeled the strength of the wind, boosting her allies with a newly generated chakra. Don't leave room for hesitation, he shouted amid the gale that she herself created. Sasuke, feeling electricity flowing through his muscles, activated his secret ability, Will of the Chidori Blade, displaying a devastating attack that left the central enemy on the brink of death. The final blow was a symphony. Kurenai launched her Genjutsu Colors of Splendor, weakening the last enemies. Shisui then channeled all the accumulated damage, and with a silent roar, rained blades over the field with his Susanoo, ending the struggle with art and accuracy. When the last echo of the battle went out, only the sound of the wind remained. They had won. But dawn did not bring peace, just the prelude of other wars. 2. Symphony of Illusions, When the Wind Speaks. The night covered the Kiri forest as a veil of mystery. A group of rebels planned a blow that could dive the ninja world into absolute darkness. Submitted by Vila de Folha, the 4 ninjas were summoned to prevent insurgency before war music echoes. This time, Kurenai led. His strategic mind was perfect for confused and psychological land. Every sound, every shadow, can be an enemy, she warned. Shisui, silent, trusted in the eyes. Sasuke, in the lightning. And the dancer in the wind. Early on, they were surrounded by illusions created by a powerful sound clan. Kurenai, unflated, retaliated with mastery, throwing an enigmatic tree into one of the enemies, who immediately turned against his companions. The chaos was her language. Shisui took advantage of the breach and launched Susanoo Imperial on Sasuke, reducing the cooling time of the esoteric and cleaning all negative status. Now, end up with them, he murmured. Sasuke smiled. With taste. And so he did. With the creation of the unimaginable, he struck a gust of sharp lightning, paralyzing the leaders of the attack. The dancer, like a breeze spectrum, pierced with her whirlpool technique, spreading blindness and weakening her defenses. The illusions intensified, confusing vision and sound. But Kurenai, protected by passive splendor, used his attacks to heal and clean the minds of his companions. Battle became a dance between reality and fantasy, between wind and thunder. Shisui and Sasuke synchronized persecution, creating fulminant combos. Every 10 hits, Shisui activated his Yasaka Magatama, burning and repelling the enemies. The dancer, with her blows of the fan, launched the opponents to the air, like dry leaves. The enemy leader tried one last resource, to invoke an ancestral Genjutsu note. But before she could finish the seal, Shisui appeared behind her, her eyes shining in scarlet red. Kotomo Tsukumi. She never launched the esoteric. In the end, silence reigned. The forest, which was once the stage of illusions, was now bathed by the breeze of victory. And, as always, the wind whispered that the team was just beginning their journey. 3. Between flames and lightning, the last shadow of Konoha. The sky was red that night over Konoha's gates. An old organization is reborn from the shadows, seeking revenge against the pillars of the village. Led by a renegade of the Uchiha clan, these enemies promised to turn Konoha into ashes before dawn. It was then that Shisui, Sasuke, Kurenai and the Wind Dancer responded to the call of the village. Today is not a day for mercy, said Shisui, his eyes sparkling with the memory of the former lost friends. Sasuke, silent, just activated his plan. Lightning serpenty around him. Kurenai touched the soil and invisible seals spread across the earth. The dancer spun softly, summoning old winds, ready to dance between destruction. The first clash was brutal. Sasuke advanced with stunning speed, hitting his cut of absolute thinking and sealing the esoteric of enemy leaders. Shisui then responded with piercing fire, burning the front line and removing his defenses. They didn't expect it, he murmured. Kurenai launched her esoteric over the strongest enemy, placing him under the effect of radiant flower, forcing him to attack his allies. Meanwhile, the dancer blinded the opponent rear with her whirlpool technique, preventing them from reacting with common attacks. The battlefield was a show of flames, wind, and illusions. But the enemy had assets. With a scream, the rebel leader released a forbidden technique that put Sasuke on the brink of death. At this point, his unparalleled passive was activated, retaining his life by a thread and undressing the devastating blow unparalleled blow, which turned the game and emptied the enemy chakra. Kurenai, seeing Sasuke at risk, released Genjutsu Splendor colors, causing mass confusion and allowing Shisui to act her supreme technique, Susanoo, with maximized damage by the concentration bar. The heavens seemed to break in light. The dancer used each chase to generate chakra, amplifying her ninjutsu. This is the power of freedom, she said, as if she danced between arrows and explosions. Kurenai, even wounded, healed the team and removed curses with their passive splendor. At the end, Shisui faced the surviving leader. You chose to live in the shadow of revenge. I, in the light of protection. And with a blink, he disappeared, reappearing behind the enemy with the final blow, Silence the Chaos. Dawned. And with him, the certainty that Konoha had been saved by those who danced between the flames and the lightning. These 3 stories reveal not only the power of their protagonists, but also the emotional complexity that each battle carries. Shisui, Kurenai, Sasuke and the Wind Dancer are not just the village weapons, they are living memories of courage, redemption and unity.